Hello, this is a brief video to show you how to diagnose the battery. It's a lithium battery, 150 amps. So at the first moment, we already remove all the screws and remove the cover from this battery. So that the thing you can do is remove the black cover like this, and you can find all the cells for this unit. So we can make our test from here, from this positive to the negative side, and we can read the first bank of batteries that it's in the top, 23.2 volts, and it's a second bank of batteries below this section. How we can inspect the voltage for this battery? If we inspect the voltage from the outside of the battery, it's gonna read 0 if the battery it's damaged. The 12V battery, the starter battery, if it's damaged or it's not any volts over there, we are not gonna be able to turn on the car. So the best way to inspect if the battery has voltage, it's from the inside, and it's before this item that it's the solenoid, and from the inside it's gonna be in the negative post, but from the inside, not outside. So we can read 49.7. This battery, the whole pack, it's 49.7. I'm gonna remove the plastics from the outside so we can do the test. Okay, now with the plastics removed out of there, we can inspect from the positive and negative. It's no voltage in our meter. Like I said, it's because it's not the 12V battery, it's not activating the solenoid that it's in the inside of our battery. This battery is good, so if I turn on the unit, you can hear the solenoid activating, and from the outside you have now voltage. Now it's reading 49.7 from the outside. Okay, so I turn it off. You can hear again the solenoid from here. Another way to test it, it's from here, negative, and positive here. It's dropping, the voltage is dropping, but if you test it before the solenoid, you have voltage. No voltage, voltage. So if you have a bad battery, or it's not reading nothing, you have a 12V battery that it's healthy, and you turn on the car and nothing happens, you may need to inspect first the solenoid. This is this connector that it's here. This connector goes to the solenoid, and it's the one that it's in charge of activating. When we turn on the ignition switch, it powers on this connector. So we have here positive, it's the one that it's just in one of the sides, and the negative, it's gonna be in the middle. You can make this test using a 12V battery. So you have positive, you're gonna insert it here, and the one of the cable that it's in the side, just like this, and you can use the other one. Okay. This is one of the ways that we can bypass the solenoid to inspect this. Okay, so now I just want to make sure, yes. Okay, so I can bypass, and it's gonna activate the pack. So right now we're gonna turn on the car with no connected, the bypass, and we see that it activates but it's not sending any information to the motor controller. It's not ready, and we just have a percentage of the state of charge. So once we make our bypass here, it activates, and we can see that it's ready and it's drivable. So, but if you test this and nothing happens, you may have a bad solenoid. So you need to inspect this solenoid or the bad fuses. How do you test the bad fuses? Using your multimeter, your meter, and setting it in continuity. So you go here to the ohms, set it in open line, and you can just try to see if it has continuity. Okay, this one is good. The big fuse, it's the one in charge to activate the system. If this is broken, it's not going to turn on the unit, or it's going to turn the unit, but it's not going to show you any information like just right now. So it can turns on because the 12V battery, it's good, but it's not activating or waking up the system of the lithium battery. As the same, we have here one of this was for the charging, I'm sorry, for the activating the BMS system. We have here the BMS. We need to make sure that all the wires are fully inserted and not retracted. And okay, in this section of the video, we're gonna show, I'm gonna connect this one again. We're gonna show now what's the functionality of the for the charging assembly. Okay, so we have here that this is the port for the charging cord that came from the charging assembly that is in the front of the front hood. Okay, it's this port. So we need to test it. If it's not activating, maybe it could be the same thing. Maybe it could be something regarding the solenoid. Maybe the solenoid is not working, or it's something else. But in this video, we're gonna show you the two more common issues, that it's the fuse and the solenoid. So we can jump to give energy to the solenoid, or we can just test the continuity from the fuse. This is a 15 amp fuse. So I'm gonna connect right now the charging gun. We want to make sure that first of all, we need to connect to the wall, to the outlet, our charger. Okay, it's green. Now we come here and we're gonna connect it to our charging port. Okay, we need to make sure that it's fully inserted and the secure, it's the lock, it's good. Okay, once we connect the charging gun, we can see that the screen, it activates, and the front hood, our charging assembly, that is this box, the fan is activated. Okay. So right now we have, again, so the charging cord, it's linking, it's flashing the charge, power charge. Okay, activate, and you can hear the fan. That's a good signal of that it's charging. How we can make sure about this? We can use our multimeter again and locate the negative and the positive from the solenoid, and we can see that it's 50.4 volts when we connect it here. we can see that it's going up 50 volts, 50.5. If we wait a little bit more, it's going to be 50.6. Okay, 50.6 right now. It's going to depend on how healthy it's the battery, the time of the charge. And right now we have 50.6, and this is the solenoid for the charger. Okay, what happened if the solenoid it's not working? So if we disconnect the solenoid like this, we're gonna see that the fan turns off. The fan turns off. The screen is still working and appears that it's charging, but it's not charging. Okay, I want to mention this because the only way that you can make sure that it's working is with a fan. If the fan it's not working, that means that it's not working. It's not charging. So at this point, we need to open the battery and inspect the continuity of this fuse. Inspect the continuity, or if the solenoid, you can jump the solenoid to see if it's working, or you can use a bypass. You can inject 12V battery, 12 volts over here. So it's gonna be positive. The one that's in the left, it's the number 1, positive and negative. You can make sure from the other wire, it's positive and negative. Okay. So how can we test it again? So we can just inject 12V battery power here. Other way to test this, it's gonna be from the charging gun. We need to make sure we're gonna find this connector, these 2 connectors. I'm gonna put it, that's this side. We're gonna find these 2 connectors. The one that's the gray one, it's for the first line, the ground, and the neutral. So that if we can find the other one, it's gonna be CP and CS. This is for the sensor, and this one actually, one of the sensor and the other one activates or sends 12 volts to the charging cord, to the little black box. Okay, so if we press the sensor, it turns off the fan. It interrupts the functionality of the charger. The same if it's not fully inserted here, it's not gonna work like this. Okay, so we need to make sure that our charging cord, it's fully inserted. I'm gonna unplug this connector, and remember, make sure that this needs to be, because we have here another wire that it's for the communication, and it could be pretty much like the same. You can get confused. Okay, so if we disconnect this one, it powers off all, and we need to make sure that it's not corrosion. Like this one, we need to clean it. Okay, so we have this connector that goes, it's from the same harness, so we need to make sure that it's not like making a loop here with the harness. This one needs to go here, female and male. Okay, so we have the wires that came from the can high, can low of with the information regarding the battery goes from the motor controller to the battery. The battery, it's in the round connector that it's over there. From the round connector, it jumps to this connector. This is a little bit hard to get access, so you can just from this side, from the passenger side, you can because it's gonna be the hood here, you can try to put in the hand, your hand, and cut the zip tie that it's holding the whole connectors. So we need to see if the connector it's not working properly. This connector, like I said, has these two wires that came the information regarding the battery. If one of these connectors it's not fully inserted or has corrosion or something, it's not gonna display the current battery information to the screen. Okay, and also if it's not working, if it's disconnected, the charging assembly it's gonna power off, because these two wires have the 12V battery, have the energy. Okay, so now it's disconnected and we don't have energy in the charge assembly, but you also see that it's like activate it, it's not working, so it's not charging. So we need to come here and verify that all the connections are fully inserted and that nothing it's out. Okay, we need to make sure, making pressure inside and also visual inspection. You can see like a little metal here. Okay, you can use your multimeter, of course. You can place something thinner from one side and the other side to see if it have continuity. Okay.